In the name of Almighty Allah, who is most beneficent and merciful to us, today I am going to discuss very briefly a judgment of the Honorable Supreme Court of Pakistan reported in PLD 2020, Supreme Court 61, bearing case title Ghulam Hussain versus the state. Similarly, 3 other matters have also been clubbed with this matter. Since this is very exhaustive judgment, consisted of 59 pages, but I have I am going to give the extract of the same, not leaving aside the most significant features. This matter, which came up before deliberation before the Honorable 7-member bench of the Supreme Court of Pakistan, arising out of a matter with reference to that Ghulam Hussain, who was convicted and sentenced to death by the London Trial Court for causing murder of 2 minor boys on 2 counts. However, his appeal failed before the Honorable Lahore High Court, and after grant of leave, the matter has been taken. This is in the background of variable judgments of the Honorable Supreme Court of Pakistan available in different law journals, and there are as many as 20 judgments. Those are in line with the earliest judgment reported in PLD 1998, Supreme Court 1445, a famous Mehram Ali case, who was tried for some sectarian huge violence which took place in the precincts of Lahore. Whereas on the same analogy, another judgment was rendered by the Honorable Lahore High Court, reported in PLD 2004, Lahore 1999, Bisharat Ali case. Although at that time before the Honorable Lahore High Court, it was merely with respect to section 23, and in the writ jurisdiction that matter was entertained, and a distinction was drawn with respect to determination of the fact whether a case arising out of some private revenge or personal vendetta can be acquitted with the Terrorism Act or not, in spite of the fact that whatever the human loss has occurred, the sophisticated weapons have been used. So that was the moot point. When those judgment was rendered, and I have said that then 20 almost judgments were on same lines after the Mehram Ali case and Bisharat Ali case. Those have been reported. However, a contrary view also appeared. That too is reported in different law journals, and those as many as 17 judgments were rendered by the different benches of the Honorable Supreme Court of Pakistan, wherein the focus was also that it has to be seen to what extent the panic, insecurity and fear has been caused because of brutality and gruesome nature of that very act. So again the Honorable 7-member bench, through this the instant judgment, has retraced the history which has already been discussed by the Honorable High Court in Bisharat Ali case, wherein the moot point which can be termed to be the real terrorism, it was with respect to the fact that if some culprits and offenders who can be branded as the terrorist in genuine terms, if their objective and goal and purpose was to commit the offense for the motivation of some political, ideological and religious purposes. So, but with the passage of time, the provisions of Anti-Terrorism Act were applied as or run of the mill, offences, those were actually triable by the courts of ordinary jurisdiction, by the sessions court. However, when section 7 is also applied, it becomes a coordinate offence. Through this judgment, I am not going to, because earlier I have given a talk 1 year back on those judgments which I have mentioned earlier, but it is almost many portions of this judgment are also replica of that judgment of the Bisharat Ali case, particularly with respect to the tracing back the history, how and in different parts of the world certain people persons and like-minded people committed the offences, but their main purpose and objective was to weaken the state, and those terrorist acts were committed to destabilize the states and the government institutions for their, as I have said, for attaining their political goals. The Honorable Bench has also referred a professor of political science who has written an article which is in some journal, Terrorism and Political Violence. In that very article, the Professor David C. Rappert, professor of Emirates in California University, USA, who has referred 4 different waves which gripped the different countries with respect to commission of these brutal acts, terrorist acts. So it was there is no need to discuss the long history. The latest in this judgment, the Honorable Supreme Court has also referred a definition which has been given by the Professor Harari, Yuval Noah Harari, who is basically also a professor of political science, wherein a very interesting illustration, hypothetical illustration, which has been mentioned by Professor Harari in his book published in the year 2018, 21 Lessons for the 21st Century, wherein for the illustration purposes, the terrorism has been resembled as a fly tries to China shop, to cause damage to the China shop. Rather, that cannot even fly around the teacup. Normally it is said that a teacup in the China shop, so the volume of the fly is very minute. So when she cannot succeed, then she enters into the ear of the bull. So bull and causing buzzing. Because of that buzzing, that bull becomes wild. So when become wise, then starts destroying whatever is around. So by quoting this example, it has been referred that after the horrible incident of 9/11 terrorist attack of the World Trade Center in New York, America, so that USA forces, or rather USA government, became so wild, and then enticed, then in the backlash they started destruction on the pretext of arresting the terrorist, because according to their version, Islamic fundamentalists have committed and caused destruction in the Middle East, and other countries. Afghanistan was also the victim. So according to him, but the purpose and objective, by defining that, it is considered to be the most enlightening definition of the terrorism, which is a terrorism in real sense. So it has also been dilated upon by the Honorable Bench through this judgment, how it can be determined that, because if these kind of offences have been committed, those are run of the mills offences, but there should be the sine qua non should be taken into consideration by the courts, that if for achieving these purposes and goals and the offences are being committed, those are terrorism. But after after the promulgation of Anti-Terrorism Act 1997, amendments were also made earlier in 1999, thereafter through the amending ordinance of 2001. But according to this honorable bench, those were drastic amendments. Rather, if some professor has been killed, although he is a government servant, some police officer has been murdered, likewise some other person who is a government servant, because in the schedule, lot many other offences were also incorporated in the act through that schedule in terms of section 34 of the Anti-Terrorism Act 1997. So in this similarly benches also differed. Approximately 20 judgments were also rendered by the honorable different benches of the Honorable Supreme Court of Pakistan, defining the terrorism as in earlier cases, whereas 17 other. So that was basically the purpose and objective of this honorable larger bench, to set this controversy at rest for proper providing the guidelines to the trial courts and the judges. Again, the section 6, in which the Commission of the Terrorist Act has been defined by way of schedule. Other offences were also, those are also although are available in Pakistan Penal Code, like section 365A, PPC, abduction for the purpose of ransom, gang rape, the act and commissions of the child molestation, so forth, so on. Although section 7 provides that is a punishment clause, and there is also bifurcation of section 7A, 1, A, B, C, D, E, F, C, so forth, so on. This was the basically background. Again, first of all, courts must have to decide the issue of the jurisdiction. So it has been lastly concluded in unambiguous and unequivocal terms that if it lacks that there should be a nexus of mens rea with the actus reus. So the other very thought-provoking aspect of the matter was with respect to the fact that if merely whatever, because in the 17 judgments rendered by the esteemed benches of the Honorable Supreme Court of Pakistan in previous year, wherein their view was that in spite of the fact that if some offence has been committed due to private revenge and personal vendetta, that can also be tried by the terrorist court, because its fallout effect is very disastrous, is very damaging, is very dangerous, because if it is amounting to affect whole the society, whole the society at large. But ultimately, but no question arises, if such like cases have been already pending adjudication before the court, then and no, it is not the appropriate stage. Those should have been particularly transferred before the courts of ordinary jurisdiction by the trial court by invoking section 23 of the Anti-Terrorism Act, which provides a mechanism either at suo motu or on the at the instance of the accused party, because the case is not triable, and the question of jurisdiction which has been assumed under section 12 of the Anti-Terrorism Act, so it is deemed appropriate. Then it has also been held through this very judgment by the honorable larger bench that then while reaching at the fag end of the culmination of the trial, and the evidence has been recorded, whole the background of the matter has been taken into consideration, and the appropriate appraisal of the evidence brought on record by the prosecution has been taken into notice, then the courts should have resorted to decide the case if those political, ideological and religious or ethnic ethnicity based, the sectarian sort of killing and nature of the offence. It has been determined that the accused should have been awarded respective punishments as provided under the ordinary law, which is Pakistan Penal Code, and they should have not been awarded punishments under the provisions of Anti-Terrorism Act 1997. So, because this was the the pivotal point which should have been taken into consideration in terms of some provisions of section 6, in which it has been provided that, because the purpose of the establishment of the anti-terrorism code is to provide a mechanism for expeditious and speedy trial of the heinous offences. So, but the heinousness of offence should not be the hallmark, that on the basis of that the accused should have also been awarded punishments as provided under the Anti-Terrorism Act. Yet the trial may continue, but when they would reach at that stage of final verdict, so this was but it has been again reiterated, and the preamble of earlier which was mentioned as terrorist act in the original act 1997, but thereafter when some amendments were brought, particularly in 2001 through the amendment, then in the preamble portion that terrorist act was termed to be a terrorism. Because of use of the word terrorism, its scope has been widened. When it has been widened and expanded, the sort of confusion arose. But this is an intellectual disagreement before the honorable judges. However, this latest judgment has been rendered by the honorable larger bench of Pakistan, primarily in continuation of that earlier judgment of Mehrem Ali case of the year 1998. So, my purpose is also to just give an overview of this very detailed and lengthy judgment, because when I went through this esteemed judgment, so I just made up my mind to share my views by narrowing down the comprehension and understanding of the actual tenor of this judgment for my friends in the legal fraternity, judges as well as lawyers alike. Thank you very much.